A little east of Galesville, Wisconsin, on Highway 5393, is an easily overlooked boat landing on the Black River. Take a look at the map. Here's where we're starting, and here's where we're coming down. That's our out point. We're at a little parking area by the DNR. It's a public landing. Let's walk down and see where it is. There is no signage on Highway 5393 for this boat landing. It is on the south side of the road. Okay, there's the Black River Bridge across 5393. We've walked down right down to the river here, and this is what it looks like. So we'll walk over and look down at the landing itself and show you what to expect. There's quite a bit of room down here, but it sure doesn't look that way from up on top. So it's a very steep plunge down to the river here. You wouldn't want to take a trailer down that. It may not show up on this video very well, but it's very steep. So I would only consider this a walk-in site and use your own judgment on it. Okay, we're here at the landing, ready to unload at the north landing. All right, we got the kayak secured. Let's take the bikes to the south landing and get going. Okay, we've made it to where we'll be taking out here, down at Highway 35's bridge across the Black River. And we're getting ready to bicycle up to the north landing where we've got the kayaks stored. We've secured the bikes here at the landing. The bike ride takes, about 30 minutes. It's about 6.5 miles. And we're ready to begin. It's October 12th. And it's probably about 67 degrees out. Kind of cloudy. We're looking forward to the boat ride. So let's go. A little bit about safety on the river. You surely want to avoid the deadfalls. You get caught under a snag in the current, and that's where you'll run into trouble. So you want to stay away from trees at all times. And you want to stay out of shallow water. Like that. So let's enjoy the boat ride now. I believe it's about 7.5 miles. That's what Google Earth tells me. So we'll see what it is, and we'll compare it to the bike ride, which is 6.5 miles, which took around a half hour. And we'll try to read the ripples in the river here and try to avoid the sandbars. The eagle over on the island over there, at least I think it is, might be a turkey vulture. We'll see when he takes off. I don't see a white head. see the sand in this region along the banks. It's a very sandy area. The Galesville, Wisconsin area is the nearest town. And that would be just to our right, a little bit to our west. And the view you're seeing is looking down the river after the very first big curve on the river. Okay, you can see some snags up ahead that you have to watch out for. And you can see, as we rotate around here to the right, a cabin on the bank amongst the pine trees, which is kind of a pretty sight. Big turn here in the river. Probably the biggest hook you'll see at the upper part of it as you come down if you look at it on the map. I believe there's a stream channel that goes back into the right from here. And we don't want that. So we want to come up here and go to the left. The river's somewhat deceiving in its speed. So if you haven't floated a river before, and I haven't done much, you want to stay away from the snags along the way. The current's stronger than you are. Whatever you may think, the current is stronger than you are. And you want to stay away from everything you can. I'm going to run kind of close to this left snag here. All right, some limestone bluff here. A very pretty scene. Very pretty scene here. Big turn in the river. And we can see it straightens out and turns quite placid. A bit sunnier up ahead. That's nice. Current's grabbing me a little bit there. Boiling a little bit here. You see how that current can grab you there. In kayaking, as in motorcycling, it's always about what's around the next bend. That makes it interesting. It's a Monday. There's somebody out river camping here. We'll maybe ask them where they're from. We're going to look for the halfway point to be some high power lines that cross the river up here, and we should have a pretty good idea that we're halfway at that point to our takeout point. But the McGillivray Seven Bridges Trail also comes in about that same spot, and that's a hiking trail. And I'll show you some pictures of that. And it talks about that being the old main road between Crosse and up to the Winona area. Howdy. How far are you away from home?
Oh, put in Melrose yesterday. Gonna take out at 35 tomorrow, and his wife's going.
Okay.
How about you guys?
Just, you know, we put in at the Stevens Town Road up here.
Oh, yeah?
And we parked down there. We rode the bicycles up there.
Oh, cool.
So we bicycled, and then we're going down to the car and just doing a one-dayer.
Right on.
You have a good one. Yep.
Anybody else been by today? No, haven't seen a soul. Oh, yeah?
All right. That's nice. Yep. High sand cliffs up ahead. Yeah. Yeah, I see the gully up there, and I see some bird nest holes. Yeah, I see the black topsoil up there. That's what you're talking about. Yeah, it just gushes over the edge. Some more tall sand bluffs up here. These have got trees on top, so they look even more impressive from the water level as far as how high they are. Very quiet right here. Okay, we finally see the high lines that cross the river, which tells us we're probably a good halfway to where we take out. And it's taken us, an hour and 40 minutes. We certainly haven't been paddling hard, we've just been taking it easy, but we haven't stopped and gotten out either. So about an hour and 40 minutes to get here. And there they are, the high power lines. And there's a island here in the river, it appears. And we're going to stay to the right of it. You don't want to go off to any of the tributaries to the right. I had said you want to stay left, but it's fairly easy to follow this trail. And just use some common sense and look at it from overhead on one of the mapping sources online. Get an idea that you won't have any trouble. Here we are at the end of the McGillivray Seven Bridges Trail. You can see a bench there to the left on the shore, and that's the west end of the trail. This is where the old main span, or 7th Bridge, used to cross the Black River. I'll show you some pictures of the trail. Most of these were taken 2 months later from this bench back to the access point east of here. That we took when we were over there, and you can walk to this point. Now there's a house that's closer to the edge than how I'd want to live. May look better from up on top. It looks like it's ready to fall into the river. Again, the sand cliffs along here are beautiful. There's what living on the edge will get you. That house didn't make it so well up there. Going by a hunter with a powerboat on the Black River. Well, it's gotten quite shallow down here at the very south end. Part of the water is lost to another tributary in the Van Loon Wildlife Area. We've had to kind of push ourselves through a few sandbars. We haven't had to get out, but it was all we could do to get through them without getting out. But there's the bridge, and it's getting on towards, it'll be about 4:30 when we get there, so you could say the trip has taken about 2.5 hours of just light paddling. It's an easy route. Take your time, enjoy the scenery. I'll maybe put up a graph of the water level at Galesville on Noah's hydraulic site and show you what the river level was. It was around, I believe around 4.2 feet, I think is what they gauged it at. Now, that number means nothing except to compare it to another given day. So, but I'll tell you what it was for this trip so that you know it's navigable at that point. You wouldn't want it much lower with the sandbars as they are. And you can take a look at that. But this is Highway 35 now, and the boat landing is just a couple hundred feet on the other side of it. I want to thank you for coming along today and enjoying the paddle with us. Okay, here's the boat landing. I'm glad you were able to make it all the way with us. I thank you for coming along. Okay, we've made it to the takeout point on Highway 35. Took about 2.5 hours. Not much boat traffic on here, but you just saw a little bit. That's the only powered boat we saw on the trip. So, and he didn't pay much care or heed to an unpowered boat on the river. So, takes all kinds, but thanks for coming along.